Welcome everybody to episode number 43 of the Third Sun Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Tyler, joined as always, my God, by Mike. Mike, how you doing today?
Oh man, I don't know. It's like a cross between warm peanut butter and Honey Boo Boo's mom after plastic surgery. I can't really pinpoint it.
I don't know what that means, but
So you feel horrible.
Do you ever know what that means?
You should be happy you don't know what that means, because I don't know what that means either. So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
It sounds awful, whatever it is.
Yeah. Let's go to Graham. Graham, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's feels like playoffs time right now, but it's not quite playoffs. But hockey is exciting to watch. I'm not talking about our hockey. I'm talking about real hockey.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am doing good.
All right. And Eugene, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right. So,
Dude, I think
No
you say
peanut
it
butter,
every-
no Honey Boo Boo.
I think you say that every week. I don't know what that means, but
no,
I'm
don't.
drinking
Not
a
every
beer
week.
and I'm sitting here on this podcast, so I'm
All right.
feeling great.
Cool. So, as always, you can join in the conversation by going to our Facebook group, Third Sun Gaming Podcast. Also, while you're there, join our forums on Facebook, Third Sun Gaming Podcast forums, where you can take part in the conversation and submit questions for the show to be entered into our monthly giveaway. So, you can also follow us on Twitter, at Third Sun Gaming, THIRDSUN Gaming, to join the conversation there. So let's get into news, and before we start, everybody, this is going to be kind of an intentionally short episode. One of those weeks where kind of tough to get everybody together at the same time, but we did find a window here, so news will be pretty short, but we did get what we think are the big ones in there for this
Tyler's
week.
got bathroom problems.
So starting off with Destiny 2, we got the official reveal trailer this week. The game, as we talked about last week, is coming out September 8th. On Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC this time around. So I'm actually intrigued to see if this will be a Play Anywhere title on Xbox, but who knows. But they did the real trailer didn't really show any gameplay, but it did speak to the fact that you don't get to bring any weapons or gear with from the first game in a way that I thought was kind of funny. So did you guys get a chance to see it? Looking forward to the game?
I saw it and I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get a chance to pre-order yet. I think I'm going to pre-order tomorrow because it does come with a lot of pre-order bonuses. I'm just struggling between whether I'm going to get the PS4 version or the Xbox version this time around. I might go and get both.
Okay.
What did you have it on last time?
I had it on both. I had it on. I started out on PS4, but then a lot more of my friends were playing on Xbox, so... I'm kind of torn, especially since there's a huge uproar about all the PS4 exclusive DLC and add-ons and early expansion access and things like that. But there's a lot of uproar about it anyway because of all the they're already offering a DLC pack, and I hope it's not the way the last DLC season pass was. I didn't like the season passes at all last time around. Did you guys?
I played. What was it called? What was the first one?
House of Wolves, I think.
Yeah, I did. I played that one, and it wasn't awful, but it didn't seem like there was a whole lot there.
Well, see, my issue with the season pass, you would think the season pass would include the expansions, right? But it really just included the two small pieces of DLC, and then you had to buy the full game expansions later, basically, for about $30 a piece. So that was my issue with that. If you buy a season pass should include everything.
Well, normally it does, right? I don't know why they would do it that way, unless there's a way we can make more money.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's like they do DLC in the same fashion that other games do DLC, where you get like a little bit of new territory to play in, so like new maps or whatever. And then they do full-on expansions that add huge new areas to the game.
The MMO way.
So it's kind of a hybrid between the two, but I can see why people get really frustrated about it. So, I don't know. I mean, but people who played that game from the beginning have poured a lot of money into that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And a lot of time. So
have you guys seen the collector's edition that's like $300 at GameStop right now?
I have.
Yeah. Not going to get that.
No, I don't blame you. So, but yeah, that's coming September 8th, and I think that's a great time for this game to come out. The original rumors of November, I think, would have hurt, but it would have hurt people like me playing it, because you would have had Battlefront 2 coming out, and with a rumored Call of Duty returning to World War II coming out, and games like that, it would have been tough for me to jump back into Destiny over those. But But I think that September 8th time frame is perfect. So,
And then there's a beta too in July. If you pre-order the game, you get the beta access.
Especially with the other release date rumor that I forgot about earlier when we were talking, but I'll throw it in. The rumored release date for Red Dead 2 is October 3rd.
Nice.
Oh man.
So that is that's pretty much a month to almost exactly after Destiny 2. I think that's again perfect time frame
Yeah.
to get that game out.
It's
So-
gonna be a hurting holiday on my wallet.
Yeah,
Already.
there's a lot of stuff coming out that I already know I'm gonna buy. So, but yeah, so a couple very anticipated games with one with a solid release date now, and the other that is rumored, but all these rumors end up being true. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. But all right, and another game that's highly anticipated this year, Star Wars Battlefront 2. You're going to get your first look at it, everybody, at the Star Wars Celebration, April 15th.
Nice.
So we have that to look forward to. I'm sure we'll see some gameplay. Hopefully, a bunch of new environments. They did say this game was going to span the entire saga versus just being about the original trilogy.
Yes.
So we'll see a lot of different environments with it, which I think is cool for the game and for the maps to see
Yeah.
these different environments. So.
Well, we're definitely going to see Naboo then.
Yep. And we'll see, I would think, some of the story mode maybe, or at least get an idea of what it might be about, which
Yeah.
would be kind of cool too. So,
Well, like they have lots of options, right? Because this series is massive and there's so many planets.
oh yeah.
So it's nice to see them include all that stuff because I'm sure that's what everyone's been looking for.
Yep.
So with this next gen, there's no excuse not to be able to provide that stuff. So
Yep.
have at her.
Yep.
It's almost as
So,
massive as your head, Grammy.
so, so heading into our final story this week, one thing that Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 have in common is that they're both going to be showcase games to show off the power of Scorpio.
Yep.
And that was leaked this week at the list of games Microsoft's planning on using to show this box off, whether it's either in May or if they wait till E3. But the list is Red Dead Redemption 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, FIFA, Madden, Forza 7, and did I miss one? Call of Duty. So
I'm sure they'll all look amazing, except for Call of Duty. But
I don't know, man. Call of Duty Returns to World War II. I bet that's going to look pretty damn good.
we'll see.
But like
We'll
I would
see.
say, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say Forza 7. To me, that seems like a game that always like showcases the beauty of the environment and
Yep.
like rain on the windshield and stuff like that, right? So
Mhm.
I would think that game out of all of them would probably showcase the power of the Scorpio the most.
Yeah.
And if they do go in VR like that way, eventually, anyways, Forza would be an amazing game for VR as well. So
Mhm.
that would
Right.
be the game that I would think would be best for showcasing, in
Yeah,
my
and-
opinion.
Yeah, and whether you like Forza or not, the game itself, there's no questioning it's one of the most beautiful games out there in next gen.
hmm
No matter
I
what.
can't wait for the HDR aspect for them to actually take full advantage of the Scorpio and then HDR on top of it.
Yes. Mhm.
I mean, it's going to look fantastic. I'm waiting on another. I'm not a huge Horizons fan, but I am a
Mhm.
huge just traditional Forza fan. So to see it in HDR and then to see it on the Scorpio too would be great.
Yeah. I tend to lean more towards the traditional Forza franchise, but Horizon's really grown on me, especially with 3. So,
Which means now you're gonna buy an HDR TV.
you are.
More money,
have
more
you
money,
experienced,
more money.
much with your HDR TV, Tyler?
It makes a significant difference in
Significant.
the games. Yes. So right now there's a few games that take advantage of it. Forza Horizon 3 is one of them. That landscape looks spectacular in HDR. And then you go over to a game like Gears of War 4, where there's much more color contrast. It's a very dark environment,
Oh, yeah.
but then there's a lot of reds and yellows in there. And man, that looks good.
I can't imagine.
So it's really cool, and there's Battlefield 1 also takes advantage of it. So when you play that, you see it there as well. So it's really cool. And I'll tell you, even a game like NHL, the colors are just so much more bright on this new TV, this 4K with HDR than they were on my older model. So it is a significant step up, and games that are truly built to take advantage of 4K or the HDR, it really, really shows. And
I really wish I wasn't so impulsive when I bought my 4K TV. I bought my 4K TV a year ago, and it was like 3 months before HDR got huge, and I'm like, man, I should have just waited like 3 more months to get one.
Eugene, I'm in the same boat too, man.
Yeah. I mean, I love my TV and it looks great, but now I have a PS4 that can play with HDR, and I'm about to get an Xbox One S. That has full HDR and then 4K, and I can't take full advantage of it, so
I got a hell
I
of
have
a
to wait
deal
till next year.
coming up for you there, Eugene.
Good. I was actually going to ask you because I'm looking at deals for Xbox One S's right now. So.
Well, I'll tell you guys before we move on to the news that the model I bought it was one of the highest rated in terms of picture quality for both gaming and sports, which are the two things I watch or do the most on TV, and it's also in that not in the super price range like $8,000 or $5,000.
You got the Vizio P series, right?
Yeah, I got the Vizio P series.
Yeah, the P series is just one of the highest rated TVs, and I have the M series, and it still looks great. It's just missing the HDR.
Yeah, that's the same one you have, Graham, right?
As well. Yeah.
So I would bet, guys, that once the new models fully hit the market and the 2017 HDR model for Vizio hits, you'll be able to get that P series for, I got a 65, and I would bet you'll be able to get it for about maybe $1,200 at the most.
Oh, I bet you at the most. Yeah, I bet you less than 1,000 by January of next year when I plan on getting a new one. I bet you I can get one for about 1,000.
And that's for everybody out there too. I highly, highly recommend this TV. So if you're trying to plan out to get a 4K TV when Scorpio comes out, if you're planning on it, highly, highly recommend the Vizio P series. It's whichever size TV you get.
Yeah, people always jump on the Samsung bandwagon, even LG, and they end up spending $4,000 to $5,000 on a TV. And yes, they look great, but you can get basically the same TV for like a quarter of the price. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that.
Some people I can tell you, pay for the name.
But I can tell you, Vizio's come a long, long way though in the last few years. And because my other TV was it's also 65, but it was a 2013 Vizio, and the picture is much more dim on there, and it's not just the 4K. The picture is much more dim. This just has a much, much better picture. The contrast is better. Everything's better on this. This TV can hold its own with a Samsung, no problem. I mean, maybe not with like the $8,000 model, but a comparable price model for sure.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that the Vizio factory is out of Irvine, California, so your turnaround times for replacements and stuff like that, warranty stuff is fast.
Yeah, I've heard they stand behind their product. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, they do. So I've never been disappointed with a Vizio product really. So
no.
And now that we're not supported by Vizio in any way.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Vizio.
All right. So anyway, that's going to do it, everybody, for news this week. Graham, let's turn it over to you. What can we get new in stores?
Well, it's a slow week for releases for the most part, but we do have big PS4 release though. That is Persona 5, which releases on April 4th. Now, this game has been reviewed very well, and if you're any kind of a JRPG fan, then this is a highly recommended title. I've been hearing nothing but great things about this, so if that's your thing, then that is the game for you. Also,
I guess it's not your thing.
It hasn't been for a while. I've got other things to keep me busy. Also releasing
keep it tight in the defensive zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a title that is releasing on all 3 major consoles. 3 meaning the Nintendo Switch included. Yes, I called it a major. This game is Lego City Undercover and will be playable on Xbox One, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch.
I might get that game for Switch.
I might as well.
I want somebody else to play on that console, and that game actually looks appealing to me. So
yeah.
Did you buy a memory card?
Not yet, but I will.
Because it's rumored that just to install the game, are you gonna buy it digital or physical?
Probably physical.
So physical, there's a rumor that 16 gigabytes right off the bat you gotta download onto the Switch. So that's almost 75% of what your Switch has on it, unless you've downloaded something else.
Oh, good. So yeah, I guess I'll be getting a card then.
Yeah, a good thing right now at Walmart you can get like a 128 gig SanDisk or Samsung card for like $34. So
yeah, I'll try that.
That's not bad at all. So yeah, there's that game. Also, we have some DLC coming that is worth mentioning. We have DLC releasing for Dead Rising 4 called Frank Rising. Clever title. This DLC will be available on April 4th and will be downloadable on PC and Xbox One. We also have DLC releasing for Rocket League, and it's called The Fate of the Furious, which coincides with the new movie coming to theaters, of course.
God,
this DLC, yeah, me too. This DLC allows you to drive a new car. Yay! A
Can I
Dodge
play as
Charger.
Paul Walker?
God.
Yeah, I would say rest in peace, but I don't even want to say that. A Dodge Charger, which is a car that is a big part of the new movie, which I don't know because I don't know anything about these movies, which I like it that way. This DLC is coming out at us on April 4th and will be downloadable on PS4 and Xbox One. And that's the major things. There could be some other ones, but I didn't really think they're worth mentioning, so that's all I got for you.
Yeah, there's this Japanese one, Grammy, that I'm really looking forward to. What is it?
Persona 5?
No, there's another one. It's got like 3 names.
Oh.
Graham's going to pass on that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Grammy, please don't pass.
All right. So, Mike, since you're already going, what can we save money on?
All right, we got the Games of Gold for April. Right now, Rise is available for the Xbox One, and for the Xbox 360, you got Darksiders. Definitely download Darksiders. It's an amazing game. For the PS4, we got Drawn to Death, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, Invisimals, The Lost Kingdom on PS3, Alien Rage Extended Edition on PS3, 10 Second Ninja, both on PS4/Vita, and Curses and Chaos, both on PS4 and Vita. Now, I got some good deals for you, but they're just short and sweet. This one's aimed at you, Eugene. Xbox One S 500 gigabyte console, Battlefield 1 bundle, $199 via ShopRite with promo code ship free. They also have the PS4 Slim 500 gigabyte Uncharted 4 bundle for $199. Same code.
So you said ShopRite?
ShopRite, RITE.
Are they? I mean, I've never heard of them. Are they a legitimate?
They're
site?
legit, yeah. They're legit. So there you go. Also, for people out there looking for extra storage right now, on Amazon.com, you get the Seagate Backup Plus 3 terabyte and 4 terabyte, $71.99/$87.99 respectively. Now that is an amazing deal. So if you're looking for a hard drive, don't stop. Get it. And there's a DualShock 4 wireless controller, $39.99 at Best Buy. As far as anything else goes that's got some meat to it, nothing really out there. So that's going to do it for me.
All right. So let's go into what we've been playing. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Diablo 3 Seasons.
Yeah,
Finally
how's that?
Fine. I mean, I started a Seasons character. I'm like almost done with the first act. But leaderboards are up. Everything's up. It's going. Playing a demon hunter this time. A little slow at first until you get up to about level 14 to 20, and then it starts picking up a little bit better. You become you don't die every 5 seconds. Playing in NHL 17 with you knuckleheads, and there's one other thing. Oh yeah, I was dipping back into Forza again. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Cool. Graham, how about you?
Me, sir, I've been playing NHL 17. You would know that because I played along with you. We've been playing games with human goalie, which definitely brings a different perspective to the game. It's nice to have a human goalie on the team. Also, I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, I just put in one good solid day, so I don't really have a lot to say about it. Tons of dialogue. Some people don't like all the reading. I don't mind it, so it's kind of works for me. But I can see how some people get tired of it and stuff like that when people just want to go and shoot and kill aliens and stuff like that. And another game I've been playing is The Show on the PS4. Now, this is the first time I've ever played it or attempted it, and I'm playing Road to the Show. Now, I really thought the graphics was going to be like a ton better than it is. Like, the characters seem pretty generic. But biggest thing is not about the game, is about the PS4 DualShock controller. You gotta hit that stupid options button, and sometimes that thing is really, really hard to hit. So I wish they did a better job, like, raising it up so it's easier to press. So I didn't even realize this, like, other games I played on it until I went to go play The Show, and you need to push that button every once in a while. So other than that, the game's been great. I started out playing as a batter, third baseman, and then I figured I'd try pitching, and I really like the pitching aspect of it. It really shows you all the pressure that's on real pitchers in baseball. like when you're there and they bring you in as a relief pitcher and like to finish it off, and you're up by 2 runs or 1 run, and you got to hold the guy, like hold the score. Like I've loaded up bases a few times. I'm like, whoa, this could get pretty bad, but I've managed to get my way out of it. But it's so much fun. Like I really am having fun playing that game. So anybody's looking for a great game, sports game for PS4, I would say go with the show.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that because I've been playing that too. And man, it just reminds me, we talk about other sports games and how they're really good or they have some flaws or whatever. Man, this game is just done so well every year. It's the game looks gorgeous. By the way, they tweaked with the lighting a little more. So one thing that's really cool is that the shadows in the ballpark will actually be different depending on what time of year you're in. So in April will be different than June than September. So the lighting will be a little different. They really worked on players' faces this year to make those more accurate, and you can tell the difference. Little things too, like including the cleats and everything that different players wear. Having the different brands and stuff like that is pretty cool as well. Pitching is really difficult in this game. It is very much timing and
hard timing too.
Yeah. And it's not the same meter for every pitcher. The meter depends on how fast or slow their windup is. So it's for some it's a longer wait to hit all the buttons, and for some it's very quick. And then once there's somebody on base, the whole tempo changes completely.
Yeah, like this is the first iteration of this that I've played. And like starting out, I know there's a lot of controls that I don't know about, but like I haven't found a way that's like really like NHL 17 now it teaches you how you progress. Like the game haven't taught me anything in a real long time right now, so I'm wondering if they're going to tell me a next step or how to do this, or basically I'm on my own.
I haven't looked, but there's probably some sort of tutorial in the game.
But like advanced, like I'm looking for like advanced tutorial. But maybe I'm just really early into it yet, though, right?
Yeah, you might be. And
I'm surely there's like a practice mode or somewhere where you can just practice doing that stuff.
Yeah, I noticed there's practice. I just haven't went into it. So, like I said, I just probably haven't went deep enough.
Yeah. So for me, the other game I've been playing is NHL. This is just kind of that 1 week every month where everything gets super busy with work, so I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and play much. I also played a little bit of Mass Effect, I guess, as well. So, but that's it. Eugene, how about you?
I haven't been playing too much. I did get Overwatch last weekend for the Xbox, so I've been playing a lot of that, and I can see why there's still a huge following with it. It's a fantastic multiplayer game, and with the new progression system and everything that it has, it's still a fun, great game. And if you guys wanted to get on sometime next week or something, I think that'd be fun to do. I also played a little bit more of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I played some Blaster Master Zero on the Switch, and then I played a little bit of the Splatoon test fire beta that they had
How was it?
going on. So it's a lot of the same from the last Splatoon. They didn't. I mean, it's a server test, is all it is.
Sure.
And not a lot of people were understanding that. I saw a lot of complaints on Facebook that there's not enough new features. There's not enough new this. Well, they don't really show us any features. It's exactly what it is. It's a test fire so they can test out the servers and make sure they can sustain all the player base.
Yep.
So they only had 4 guns you could choose from. They only had 2 maps that randomly generated. But really, and I'm going to talk about in the topic for discussion today what feature I'd like to see in it. We actually have a few questions, but really that's all I've been playing, and I've really actually contemplated buying MLB The Show just because I know you guys are playing it, and the reviews on it. I think it got a 9.7 on IGN, and then every other review site is just. And I watched a little bit of the retro mode, and that's the game that I want to play. Have you tried out retro mode at all?
I have not yet.
I have not either.
Yeah, I watched a Let's Play video. I forgot who it was, but the retro mode it has the graphics of the show, but the gameplay feels like RBI Baseball for NES, which it looks pretty awesome. I don't know if you can play online or anything, but If there was one game mode I'd like to play, it'd be that one. So I've contemplated, but I really don't think with Persona coming out, I got Persona coming to my door Tuesday, and then I've been playing Horizon 2. I picked up Horizon again, and man, that game is very, very hard to play after playing Zelda. I'm trying to climb on everything.
That's like I say, are you just trying to climb everything?
Yeah, so Horizon is very limited on you have to walk on paths, and whenever you can climb up a mountain, you have to there's a prompt for it. You can only climb up in certain places where there's certain ledges and stuff, and it's really frustrating, especially when you go into Zelda and you can just climb on anything and just jump up any mountain, and then climbing down a mountain, you have to actually strategically climb down a mountain instead of just flying off of it. So, but I'm enjoying that still. I kind of want to beat that before I jump into Persona, but Persona with all the reviews that it's getting, I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, cool.
That's it.
The other thing I was gonna play Sea of Thieves technical alpha again today, and it reminded me, Gene, when you said stress test, because that's what it is. I mean, it's not a demo. So everybody's got to settle down when they play something like a stress test or technical alpha, and people freak out because they say, well, this game doesn't have very much in it. Well, of course it doesn't. It's not the final product.
I know, and I can't stand that people, we're only getting one extra gun in this game. Well, no, you're not going to just get one extra gun. They didn't show you anything because they don't need to show you anything, because that's not what this is for. It's not a beta, like you said. It's not a demo. It is a stress test to test
out the volume
of
people on the server.
Yeah.
It's not what gun you got.
I will say that it handled great. I didn't have any lag issues. I jumped right into lobbies. It handled great for what it was. But really, it felt like the first Splatoon for the Wii U, just on the Switch. But I'm not complaining about it because I know it's not the final product. But really, yeah, it's fun to play, and it's really addicting too. And I wish there's a greater time limit. It's only a 1 hour time limit that you can play. But during that time, I was able to get in any lobby I wanted to, jump right in and start playing. No lag, nothing like that. I was playing with people from Japan, from South America, wherever, and we had no issues at all.
Yeah.
Now, did you play it in handheld mode or on not console?
I played it on the TV. I don't play my Switch in handheld, but I do know people that took it to work with them and played on their lunch break on their handheld, and it worked great just the same. And actually, I'm pretty sure the Switch runs better in handheld mode anyway, even before it's docked. I know Zelda has frame rate issues.
Which they might have fixed, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did fix with the new update. So if you haven't downloaded the new update, download that new update, because there's very little frame rate dips now.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
But yeah, what I was gonna say, people did the same thing after the Titanfall, stress test, and they were saying, "I'm not getting this game. This game doesn't look any good." And then they did the same thing after the Battlefield beta, and both games turned out to be great. So
yeah, if you base your judgment and your purchasing decision off of beta, then you're stupid. Yep, that's what it comes down to.
If the beta is 2 weeks before release day, then it's basically a demo.
Yeah.
But this is months ahead of release. Just like Sea of Thieves hasn't even announced a release yet. So we have that game's a ways off yet. It's probably going to be a fall release to add on to the pile of games I want to get.
Yeah, I really wish I would get my email saying that I've been accepted, because I put in for it. I just haven't gotten an email yet for it.
So I know Steve in our community got accepted. I was going to play with him today, and then our internet kind of took a crap, and Mike kind of worked on it, and we got it resolved 20 minutes before the end of the alpha. So I didn't jump in and play.
Timing.
Yeah, so
that's
didn't jump
terrible,
in and play this time. But they have it pretty much every week, and sometimes it's only for 2 hours, and they've had some that are 24 hours. So once you're in, and I encourage everybody to go sign up, because once you get accepted, you get into every single session after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they just keep adding people every time to put more and more people in. And they've made changes, Mike, since we played. Like now there's a limited number of cannonballs that you get to use.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, and there's other things that you have to do. They're going to be adding sharks into the water and stuff like that.
That terrifies me. I hate sharks in video games.
Mm-hmm. So that'll that adds some elements to the game. So, but Don't judge games off of an alpha or a stress test, guys. Like, just play it for what it is and know that it's a work in progress. So, all right, let's go into discussion. What questions do we have this week, Eugene? I know we have a couple.
So we do have a couple. One guy asked, "Do you think Xbox will ever get a good baseball game?" And you know who asked this question. I'm not going to say a name.
Yeah.
They got to. Like, they should realize how successful and how much people buy the show. So if they can, who makes the show anyways? That's
Sony Interactive.
It's a Sony owned publisher.
Sony
there's no
San
way
Diego.
the show would ever be on Xbox.
Yep.
But there's other companies out there that should be able to
2K.
develop it. And
Yeah, they should.
No, not 2K.
Or not
2K made
2K?
2K made that horrific baseball game back in 2010 and 11, right in that range.
12 was the last year.
12 was last year, and it was by the last year is they just did a roster update.
Yeah,
Left all the same bugs in the game. Literally, the achievements were all the same, same, and it was just awful.
and still charge
I mean,
$60 for it.
You think EA could do it?
EA is
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, EA is the one that can do it. And
I don't know why they don't, because there's got to be more of a fan base for baseball than hockey, because hockey is mostly Canada with select northern states for the most part, right?
But here's the thing: hockey's more conducive to a video game because it's fast paced. You can do things like EA Sports Hockey League, where you can get a bunch of people involved. Baseball's a slower game, and it just takes longer to play a game. First of all,
Yep.
and so your market's never huge. Like Sony doesn't sell 5 million copies or 10 million copies of MLB every year, but they continue to put out a quality product because it's something that it's a standard of excellence they built that they're identified with.
Yeah.
But EA is the one that can do it, and here's why. Eventually, they're going to give up on the NBA franchise because they got delayed this year. It was supposed to come out in January. That's ever a good idea, and then they just canceled it altogether, and now they're going to try again next year. Their competition has such a stranglehold on all three consoles because it's coming out on Switch 2 that it's pointless for them to even try. They sold how many did I say that one week? They sold 80,000 copies or something.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
I thought it was less than that.
Yeah, it might have been less than that of the last NBA Live. So, and 2K is just such a good product and it has such a stranglehold on the market that they need to just stop and go in on a baseball game because at least they can dominate Xbox with that.
Yep. Because 2K blew it on baseball and hockey.
Yep. And
So-
2K hockey was bad, but it was nothing compared to baseball.
Yeah.
Their baseball game was embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I have a question about MLB. Do you get a lot of online interaction with MLB? Can you I know with hockey you can get 3 versus 3 or 5 versus 3 or 5 versus 5, whatever. That many people involved. Can you do that with baseball?
No.
I was
No,
wondering that. So
No.
it's not like an EASHL, but with baseball.
It's 1 versus 1.
Yeah, so I think that might be one reason why they might not be getting into the game because a lot of their sports games focus on just multiplayer. Where with Madden, with NHL, with FIFA, there's a greater audience, a greater multiplayer audience, and that might be why they feel that it won't be successful.
You know what though? I can give you one huge reason that they will.
What's that?
Ultimate Team. Because if there's one sport built around card collecting and
Big
stats and attributes and all that stuff, it's baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I love stats in baseball. It's my favorite game, my favorite sport when it comes to all of the statistics and everything. And we know records in baseball that go back half a century or more.
Yeah.
The 56 game hitting streak by Ted Williams, and stuff like that. We know those stats, and in other sports you just don't. So it's tailor made for Ultimate Team, and I think they could make a freaking killing. I'm playing Diamond Dynasty, and I'm having a great time. And they added the Mode 2, Graham. What's it called in the EA games? Where you draft, you have the few rounds of drafting to draft a team and then go play. Draft Champions. So they added their own Draft Champions mode in this game too. where you can draft a team and go play, and you get to lose twice, and then you're done, and you redraft and go. So there's a lot of things to do, and there's, I think baseball would be a good fit, and EA used to make a really good baseball game. They did. So
this would have been the year to do it with the Cubs winning and anything and everything. They could have just put the Cubs on there and merchandise it for this year, and they would have made a huge buck off of it.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see a teaser at E3, if not this year, next year. So
that'd be good. That would be really nice to see.
Yeah, but and with EA's relationship with Microsoft, they could even make it an Xbox exclusive. Because why
compete with the show?
Why even build it for the PS4?
Yeah. It's actually a good idea because you mentioned too. Because EA, they do FIFA, they do NHL, they do Madden, basketball. So why don't you do baseball?
Yeah, and it comes down to the licensing, and the baseball license is expensive. It's more expensive than any of the other sports except for football.
Yeah, it's like Madden's probably more.
Yeah, and I know I heard that on a different podcast, a more like sports game focused one, but it's a very expensive license, so it's them making that decision. But the NBA one isn't super cheap either, and they went in on that, and they've done nothing but purge money.
Yeah.
So they're just hemorrhaging money over that game. So anyway, what's our other question?
So the next question comes from Brian Richland. If you could add one feature to any current system, what would it be?
Bring me a beer when I want one.
You're dreaming.
Hey, man can dream.
I'll give you two, and I actually really like where the Xbox is going because they listen to their fans and they build features in. So I mean, the Xbox One is a totally different product today than it was 3 years ago. So, I'm happy with that. Let us change our damn name on the PS4 if we want to. And don't make me use like a stupid friend code to add somebody on the Switch. Those are my two. I know I'm asking a lot. Who's up?
I'll go ahead and go. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So mine would be, of course, PS4. Let me change my damn name, my PSN name, and then for not. The friend code doesn't bother me too much entirely on the Switch, but really they need to fix their friend system, their multiplayer system on the Switch. It still has the same issues as the Wii U. At least now they have a friends list where you can go add people in, you can see what they're doing and see what they've been playing, but that's all you can do. So what's the point of me having a friends list? And I got into an argument with some troll online about this. There's this huge thing after the Splatoon 2 test fire that they're like, oh, Nintendo just needs to start launching all these multiplayer games right now because it's going to be huge. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Before they even do that, fix the multiplayer system. Because right now we got Mario Kart coming out this month now. You got Splatoon 2 coming out this summer. You got ARMS coming out soon as well. But before you go into a bunch of multiplayer games, make it to where I can go in my friends list, party up with people, send a message, invite them to a game, get together in a party, and then go into a lobby first. Because to me, you can't play an online shooter or online sports game or anything without having that first.
Yeah, no, you do need that communication, and that is something that Nintendo needs to do because gaming is a social thing now. More than ever.
Yep.
It's more about going online, playing with your friends, chatting it up while you're doing whatever, even talking about the game. But why hasn't Nintendo allowed this to happen? Like, they should know that this is something that they need to do. And I was really hoping with the Switch that they would do this right off the hop. So I'm hoping when they do come out with where you play Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games, Virtual Console, I'm hoping they're going to come out with a really big update to fix all these issues and bring this on and make things more social and accessible.
Well, I mean, I hope they fix it before Mario Kart comes out this month because the friends list, like I said, it's nice, but what's the point? I like to, on my Xbox, I like to go in my friends list, see what they're playing, see what achievements they've gotten. I mean, even right now, I can't even see how many hours I played a game on the Switch. I mean, it gives me a general estimate, like, oh, you played you played Zelda 100 plus hours. Well,
Yeah.
100 plus how many hours? Like,
That's
how
what
many
I was
hours?
looking at too. When I looked up my hours, it said 100 plus. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what does that mean? Like
120,
100.
110,
Like, I would like to know.
107.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I want to
That's your
know what.
limit.
Yeah, I mean, well, it goes like 70 hours, 80 hours, 90 hours plus, and that's all it tells me. It doesn't tell you anything else. So I want to know what my friends are doing, and I want to know who they are too, because right now you can't see anything about them. In Xbox, you can make a profile. Hey, this is where I'm from. You can put some dumb profile saying in there. You can do whatever. You can put your age. I don't know who these people are, and I have no connection with them whatsoever, other that they're in my friends list. And that's it. I can't invite them to a chat. I can't ask them questions, send them a message. I can't do anything. I can't view achievements. So make a friends list that has a purpose to it.
Yeah.
There's no point. There's no point of me buying a multiplayer game like Splatoon or Mario Kart, which I'm going to buy Mario Kart anyway. But I want a connection to the people I'm playing online with.
Okay, Mike, go ahead and answer, and then I have a question to ask everybody. Go ahead.
Okay, well, mine's not so much as an OS thing. A lot of the features that the Xbox has, I can't really think of one off the top of my head that I want for the Xbox. But what I can say is, the whole Netflix thing with the Friends Theater mode. I'd really like to see that.
That's
That
was a good mode on the 360. It's fun.
Yeah. So I don't know about the PS4 because I haven't touched it in a long time, but as far as the Xbox goes, everything seems to be working. Or you can now stream with one click on the bar with Beam and all that kind of stuff. So
you know what? It just made me think of one, and Mike, I know you're going to agree with me on this. Bring back community events like 1 versus 100.
Yes, very much so.
And I know they're expensive to do, but those of us who are big fans in all three consoles invest a lot of money into these consoles.
Yep.
And not just when we buy the box, but in games and accessories and paying the live and PSN and all that stuff. So
yeah, they could even get a little fruity with it and say, okay, well, here's a $5 gets you five shows worth of tickets.
Yep.
I'd do that.
I would too, because it was just like it was that much fun back when it was going on.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. When you guys are talking, it made me think of a question. Would you guys say that the Switch got rushed to market? Do you think it would have benefited from another 6 months?
Yeah, I think it would have benefited from another direction. Period.
I know, don't look at it from like the selfish I want to play Zelda thing. Like, was the console rushed to market? And the reason I ask is because they got 4 months clear of PlayStation Pro, and they're 6 months before Scorpio, and I think that's where they wanted to be. Do you think it was rushed?
I don't think it was rushed. It was actually put off according to their strategy. And I really don't understand what their strategy is per se, because Nintendo has this weird way of running their business anyway. I don't feel it's rushed because I do feel as a console that it is complete, but when it comes to features, it is not. I don't understand what their higher ups are thinking, and thinking that it doesn't take much to make a friend system. And I know they want to be unique, they want to be Nintendo, but if Microsoft and PlayStation are doing it right with their consoles, just take what they have and put it on your console. You don't have to copy it exactly, but what they have works. It's nothing new. It's nothing. I mean, Xbox copied off Steam for the most part with their friends list and everything, and their achievement system. So why not take it, implement it in your system? It's not that hard. How hard is it to have a Netflix port on a Switch? It doesn't take months to do that. I mean, all you have to do is tell Netflix, hey, make this software for our Switch, and they'll have it to you within a few weeks.
Because they got it on iPads and iPhones.
It's everywhere. It's
on your 3D.
They had it on the Wii U. It's on your 3DS. Exactly. It's on the freaking PS Vita. So
Nintendo already has license to it or whatever, or partnership with it. So
yeah, I don't think that is rushed. I just think it's part of their Nintendo strategy, which I don't know what it is, but I don't understand why they just don't put things out there. Just put it out there.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
and I'm not.
go ahead.
I'm not being reminiscent by this at all because I never actually owned a Nintendo 64, but I had a friend that had one. I think the direction they went with the Switch was not the greatest idea in the world. If I were going to do something, I would have made another Nintendo 64 that was on par with, or at least close to the other consoles that are out there, and then started ripping out and tearing up the Nintendo IPs and busting them out and having just a much more powerful system, because I really don't think that being able to play something for 2 or 3 hours without having to switch to batteries or whatever, or having to recharge, is all that great. I just think they could have done a lot. They should have just went back to the roots and
So
built from there.
I don't agree
I-
with that because
Yeah.
I don't think they're looking to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. They're looking for it to be like a system alongside of it. But as far as people who only have the Switch, that's their only system, then I can see it being more of a disappointment. But for me, like, I got the Xbox or PS4. So I think it's great to have it as a portable, like a hybrid, because that will never be my main console ever. So I'll have it for
See
its
what you're saying there, though?
exclusives.
You see what you're saying there? It will never be your main console because it's not powerful or good enough. If I want to play games on the go, I'll play it on my phone or a tablet.
Even if they came out with a system that's way more powerful than the Scorpio, it still wouldn't be my main console, just because Xbox has these exclusives that I like. I like the friends that I got established, the party chat. So
Sure, but what if the Nintendo Woo had it, and all they were missing were the Xbox exclusives or the PS4 exclusives?
So,
and they got
here's the deal.
single other game that the Xbox and the PS4 did, and it played flawlessly on there. Why wouldn't you make it your main console?
Because here's the deal, that Xbox and PlayStation are already in the game, and they've already gotten their fan bases. If Nintendo were to make that powerful console, they still wouldn't have third-party support. They still wouldn't have a core gamer support, because people already have their Xbox, people already have their PS4. It doesn't matter if the Switch had all the same features, had a Blu-ray drive, had a same powerful graphics processing unit. It doesn't matter. They don't need that. They only need a Nintendo system with the basics. And I am defending it a little bit,
Okay.
but
So
I agree, though.
no, and I don't. And here's the thing. You release a console in 2017 at 2017 prices, and you cannot say that we don't want to be held to the same standard. You can't. You're going to be held to the same standard. And to release something that does not stand up in any way other than the novelty, which is cool, by the way, of being able to have it be a portable system.
okay, I mean, but that's
Thank
what
you.
the system is.
Thank you.
If you take all that away, how much would the Nintendo Switch cost?
Okay, but they already have a portable system. It's called the DS.
But you can't play Breath of the Wild on 3DS.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
because they
it
didn't make
is.
it for the 3DS.
If they
But-
can't
but
make it on the 3DS, it wouldn't be powerful enough to run Breath of the Wild.
But they themselves said that this is not designed to take over the 3DS as a portable gaming system. This is meant to be a centerpiece of your living room. So you can't say that and then not want to be held to the same standard as the other two. So
Yeah, I can't see you call it a centerpiece of your living room too when it's completely portable. Like, I could
Well, it's portable
never
if you choose it
hook
to
that
be.
up to my TV. Yeah, I could keep it portable all along.
yeah.
So I don't see how you would just call it strictly a home console, because it's not. It's a hybrid.
No, and that's the part that I think is cool about it. But to say that, well, we're going to be forgiving on them not having the same standards for graphics and for, power and for all these things, to me is wrong. They need to be held to the same standard. And people get all, softy with Nintendo all the time because they're Nintendo. But the bottom line is, if Microsoft or Sony, for that matter, released something like that, if in 2013 Microsoft had come out with the Xbox Portable or Xbox Switch, they would have been freaking destroyed, and you guys know that.
Yep.
So I have a question here. So why? And I'm going to add on to this. Why do you have because about all of us here, we have a PS4 and Xbox One. Why do we have both?
I would for the exclusives on all the consoles.
Okay, so I can't have my Switch for the exclusives?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, and that's why I have it, because Nintendo makes some great games. So I'm not bashing on Nintendo.
So would you be content by having 3 game systems that do exactly the exact same thing with all the same features, except that Nintendo has Zelda, PlayStation has Uncharted, and Xbox has Halo? You'd be very content with having $1,000 worth of systems that do the exact same thing.
If I have to pay the same amount for the games, I want them to perform the same way.
So you'd want them all to be 4K Blu-ray players.
No,
All
if I have
that
to pay
stuff.
the same amount for the games, I want the games to perform the same.
I think the argument is here, and really I can't be on the forefront of this argument because I don't use the main feature of the Nintendo Switch, which it is a $300 console, because yes, it is more powerful than the Wii U, but you can take it on the go, and I have no reason myself to take it on the go, so I can't support the argument. But
there are a lot of people who do.
But the people that do love the feature. The people that commute to and from work every day for 2 hours, 1 hour each way. For those that have overnight shifts where they sit in a box and are a security guard and they want something to do while they're on the job, they love the feature. I mean, that's all I see of it, and they don't care about the 2 or 3 hour battery life, because if you take it to work, guess what? You can just plug it into the wall. Or if you take it onto the train, you don't sit on the train for 3 hours. You sit on the train for an hour, and that's all you need it for. So it necessarily doesn't have to have that. It'd be nice for that huge battery life, but really, is it necessary?
No,
So
it isn't.
Sorry, 2 to 3 hours is just a little low.
Okay, but
I don't
why do you
think
need
so.
it longer than 2 or
Look,
3 hours?
But no, compare it to
So-
gaming laptops.
Not every trip in the world is
Gaming
2 hours
laptops
long.
are only good. My gaming laptop is only good for 2 hours, and that's like a really good gaming laptop. So, like, if you're gaming with it, you got to expect that time. If you're going to play any more in time like that, you have to bring your charger with you. Even people are on their phone like all the time. They bring
But
their
it's
charger.
not. But it's not as powerful as a gaming laptop. And so I understand the gaming
Still
laptop.
has the same, it still has the same purpose, though.
So,
Gaming
but
laptop is
but
$2,000.
iPads play mobile games too. And
Yeah,
I
but
can-
they're
I
not
can play-
as intensive as like.
You can't play Breath of the Wild on an iPad. You
No,
can't
and
play
I
it
agree.
close to
I
it.
agree. All I'm saying, guys, and it's not even that I totally disagree with you. It's that the standard's been set by other products. So to say that we can't or shouldn't compare Nintendo to that is wrong, because that's giving them a pass.
So
Nobody else gets a pass. Why should
Okay.
they?
This is going to go nowhere, so let's
Yeah.
just...
Well, I
I
mean,
just have one more
we
question.
disagree.
yeah, go for it.
One more question. Would you be more content with the Nintendo Switch pricing if it was $199 and it had no capability of going on the go, but it does everything else exactly the same? Would you be more content?
Content?
No.
Content's not a word. Would I be more interested? No.
No, not necessarily content, because, like, while I don't use the online features in it, or the portable, taking it on the go, I totally, like I said earlier, a few minutes ago, I think that's really cool about it, though, that it enables that functionality for people who do use it that way. I think that's the revolutionary thing about the system. So, no, I wouldn't take that out. But what I am saying is, when I pay $60 for a game, I expect it to be at the same level as other games that I pay $60 for.
But
Well,
you don't think Breath of the
listen,
Wild
Breath
does
of the
that?
Wild is worth $100 in my books.
Oh, Breath
I
of the
wouldn't
Wild's
go that
great.
far.
All right.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
So,
I mean,
and-
compared
It's
to
worth
any
60.
other game, basically.
Yeah, it's worth
So,
60.
so back to my original point, though, and you know, this isn't to spark a whole new thing, but just to kind of close up from my end. The reason I asked the question is because, not so much in graphics or anything like that, but when you release a console where you can't even add people to your friends list easily, you can't communicate with people easily, you can't look at people's profiles, and then you have a Joy-Con that, you know, breaks if somebody whistles in the room, it's not ready. Why was this console released?
And to answer
You can't tell me
we,
that
we
they
could say the same thing about the Red Ring of Death or the Yellow Line
exactly,
of Death.
and I'll tell you right away. Yes, the 360 wasn't ready, and especially the Xbox One wasn't ready. The Xbox One was minus so many features when they launched that thing. The reason they launched it is because PS4 was coming out.
Yeah, did they not even have Netflix or something?
Their
when
party
first-
chat was so flawed on
God, it was bad.
Xbox One when it came out. Like, it was
Yeah.
terrible.
it was
we
an
used
app
to,
first
so
and not part of the kernel.
Mike and I would play NHL, and we were like, we would play on Xbox, or we'd play a game on Xbox One, but we would party chat on 360.
Yep.
And it was that bad, and that console wasn't ready either. And it came out without many of the features that we have today. Not to their benefit, they have realized that, especially since Phil Spencer took over and have made that right.
Yeah. Well, maybe a reason too why they could have kind of rushed it, and I say that in quotes, is because the Wii U did so bad and stuff like that, and maybe they're trying to do some damage.
They wanted to
control.
get behind them. They wanted to get that stuff behind them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, though. They had the perfect window right in between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Scorpio. You don't want to go head-to-head with either one of those.
And
Because then you're going to get compared. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
And to finish my end of things, and it doesn't need a response, is this. If it was the same freaking console as the Xbox One, PS4, and everything like that, I would buy it over the PS4 big time just for the exclusives. You know?
Mhm.
And that's all there is to it.
I couldn't
So-
say that.
So,
Excuse me?
okay.
I said I don't think I could say that just because PS4 has like God of War and the Uncharted. They have some great exclusives. So
Well, I
couldn't-
grew up with Mario and Zelda and Metroid and all that stuff, so that appeals to me far more than God of War and stuff like that. And that's
Sure.
just it. That's it. There's
And that's
no,
just taste. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
that's just it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's
All right,
perfect.
gentlemen. I did not mean to open Pandora's box. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it was a good discussion.
I do too.
Yeah.
So
Well, we had lots of fuel for that fire. So
we did. All right. So
I
are
had to
we,
drink a beer after that.
I know. All right, let's wrap it up on that. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for episode number 43. We will be taking signups for our MLB 17 league soon, so Eugene, get it soon so you can start practicing and get ready. And we'll be doing that on Facebook, so even if you're not, I know we have some listeners that are really loyal listeners of ours that just aren't Facebook type of people. Do what some of our other listeners have done and just make a profile that isn't even your name. Just come in and join and take part in the conversation, because we do most of our things through Facebook now. But just come take part, and we'd be really happy to have you there. But that's where a lot of our communication is going to happen. So we'll be sending out the announcement for MLB The Show 17 shortly. Aside from that, I don't think I have anything else to announce right now. So thank you so much again for joining us for episode 43. We'll be back next week with episode number 44. Until then, everybody, stay safe, play some great games, and have a good week.
everybody be good.
Happy Fool's Day.